Sophomore year, I started getting really sick, and just for 6 months, I was throwing up 3 times a day, just out of nowhere. Couldn't figure out what it was. It wasn't any type of like regular illness, but I was just getting really hopeless with feeling like crap like every day.
He started getting more lethargic and had a lot of stomach pain. So then we would see specialists for the stomach pain, and you go to the doctor and they can't find what's causing it. So then during that time, he started becoming depressed because he felt like no matter what appointment we went to, they weren't finding anything, nothing was making him feel better, and so that added to his feeling of hopelessness.
At the same time, my girlfriend broke up with me. I just felt like no one was really there for me. So it was sort of just like ongoing. I really tried to like stick it out.
Around the age of 15, his attitude started to shift. He started to wear hooded sweatshirts, and he'd wear them zipped up a lot. And he'd spend a lot of time looking down and not want to talk. But he's my youngest of 6, and they all went through phases like that. So honestly, I didn't see how serious it had gotten.
Depression is just like, you want to die, and sometimes you don't even know why. Like, that has to be the craziest phenomenon ever. Is just out of nowhere, you're like, I would give all this up. Just imagine how much pain someone has to be going through to just give everything up. I googled the least painful way to die.
I got a call from my son Matthew saying that Caleb had tried to hang himself. Sorry, this is really hard. My mother and I went to the hospital. He had been brought into the ER, and when I got there, he wouldn't look at me. He wouldn't talk. And it was really hard. So we were there for several days. I mean, the upswing while we were there, because he had all these medical conditions, they started running tests because otherwise we were just hanging out until he could get a placement.
After I woke up, I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna get help now, whether I want it or not, you know, at this point. And back then I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. And then like people are like, you know, you sort of gave up your decision to make decisions at this point, which was probably the best thing that could have happened.
How you doing?
Miss Erica is my therapist at Elite DNA Therapy. I hit the jackpot with Erica because like that was someone I could actually talk to versus someone in like the mental facility.
How are you managing your time up there and everything as far as?
Erica's fabulous. He was allowed to say whatever he had to say, but then he also had to listen. She came up with a lot of strategies for him to try. Some worked for him, some he wasn't interested in, but she never gave up. She was very involved in his life. Watching his recovery is kind of like a roller coaster because it's not smooth. There are times where he's doing great. There are times when I know he's pretending that he's doing great. And there's times when he struggles. And so it's hard. I want to be here for him and I want him to know he can tell me anything that he's thinking and that he's feeling. But I will always worry if when something goes badly, that it's very serious again. So it's hard. He's developed so many coping mechanisms. Since he's been at college, he feels successful. He loves what he's doing. If I had to give advice to other parents, I would just say, really pay attention. Listen to your kids if they tell you they're upset, and know that you don't have all the answers. It's difficult. Being a teenager now, so much more than it was when we were younger. The social media aspect adds a whole nother level to what's going on. So when something gets out there on social media, it doesn't just go away. Where when I was a kid and somebody said something mean about me, tomorrow it was gone. But here it can just cycle and cycle. Teenagers sometimes don't realize how the things that they say and do can affect someone. I do feel like he's made a transformation. He's a new person.
My advice for anyone thinking about suicide is to find someone to talk to, because I didn't want to talk to anybody, but I found Erica. It may be a therapist, it may be your friend, just somebody. Find someone that's not going to judge you. And just don't do it. It's just there's so many. I'd be so disappointed if if I died there and then I got to see what I missed out on. I'd have been like, dang, man, that's awesome.
I've never talked about this with people. I've always carried it myself. So find people that you can talk to and know that you're not alone. So many people are going through this.